All right, we got a New Year's Eve episode, at least as of when we're recording this. I can hear the fireworks going off in the background as we're starting this. But we thought it'd just be fun to do a little catch up episode and just kind of a random topic episode. We don't have any set agenda, just I have a lot of stuff that's been going on in the background that I feel like would be fun to share. And I know you just have some stuff you want to talk about too. So we'll just rip a casual episode.
We're gonna rip it up, just hang out and chit chat.
But first, I do want to do a client spotlight. I know we haven't been keeping up super consistently with these, but shout out Steve. You are the freaking man. Steve has just been so dialed in, so consistent, been like so strong, and showed just really steady, consistent progress over the last few months across the training, nutrition, mindset, everything. We're currently going through a reverse diet and eating more and improving digestion. And he's just been maintaining, reducing his body weight while steadily increasing strength, especially on those compound lifts, and just overall getting so much leaner, less inflammation, even despite all the chaos of work and family stress and holidays and everything. So, yeah, his self awareness and just the adjustments and consistency he's been able to make has been incredible. So yeah, super excited to just keep going and building on this process. So yeah, Steve, you're freaking awesome. Such an inspiration to see all the progress you made so far and just all the strength and gains you've been making. I'm excited to carry that into the new year.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what a great place to be in heading into the new year, 2026. I love when we get responses from our clients that like they're not resetting, like they're just like we're just continuing this momentum. We're feeling great. We're ready to rock and roll a new year and just take it another notch up.
Yes, yeah, I love to see Steve just like so energized going into this new year, having that foundation, and just he's the perfect example of progress over perfection, just showing up every single day, putting in the reps, and just seeing it pay off. So yeah, Steve, you're the man. We appreciate you, and yeah, super pumped about it.
It's awesome, Steve.
Yeah. Aside from that, I feel like, dude, there's like I think so much that we haven't talked about over the last few weeks, just like random stuff. One I wanted to say was my volleyball tournament. I don't know if I ever updated. I think I talked to you guys about it on our team meeting. But we had a volleyball tournament for like Christmas a couple weeks back, and we freaking crushed. There was like this open level player, which is like basically pro, and we beat him. And like no, everyone was like, it was a huge deal. Like everyone was texting me after. They were like, "Holy shit! Like you won! It was crazy." So that was a fun experience for sure.
That is awesome. So tell us more about it.
Yeah, I mean the tournament was such a fun vibe. Like it was Christmas themed, so everyone was dressed up. Like music was fun, so it was a good vibe. But yeah, they were the toughest team for sure. He was the one that put on the tournament. So we played them. We were undefeated in our pool play, and then we go to playoffs, and they were the first team that we were playing in playoffs. So we're like, oh shit, we better bring it. But yeah, it was a really good. Like we played the best that we've ever have in our lives. Like we were so dialed in, didn't make barely any mistakes. Just like it was, we were. I still can think about it. Like it was so crazy. It felt so good. Yeah, really close game though, and then we ended up winning, and then just won the whole thing. We played like 3 more games after, beat everyone else. So yeah, it was a really cool experience.
You got the gamers. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was funny. The prize was a bunch of alcohol, of course. I was like, great, thanks. My partner doesn't really drink either. So like, all right, what are we gonna do with like 5 bottles of alcohol?
That's when you win over everyone else. You're like, hey guys, celebrate with us.
Yeah. And then the guy, like I said, the guy that we beat was the one who put it on, and he was supposed to pay us for like there was a payout, and never got it.
What? Man, that's not cool. You got his feelings hurt a little bit.
Maybe. I don't think he wants to admit it, but ego definitely took a hit, I think.
Yeah, man. I mean, you got to. The challenge with that is, if you're going into a tournament, especially if you put it on, and you're supposed to be like the primo guy, and it's like, I mean, if you don't win, it's a disappointment.
Yeah.
Right. And so, like, your ego, I mean, that's a tough spot to be in.
Yeah. That's one thing I'm kind of working through too, just in a different sense, is because one thing that comes up a lot when I play volleyball is I get really in my head, which, yeah, I'm competitive. I want to win, of course. I have high standards for myself. I think none of that is inherently bad, but I let it get to a point where I end up actually, like, I don't get mad very often. Like, when I'm really angry, like, it's not good, and it's very rare, but it's like I've catch myself getting angry in some of those moments. And it's more of when I know that I'm better. It's like I know what my potential is, and like I'm sucking, or I'm just like whatever reason I'm not on, or like me and my partner are both just out of sync. Like it makes me so mad. I think just because I know what my potential is, and then I'm not living up to it, and so then I get in my head, and then just kind of creates a vicious cycle. So that's something I'm definitely need to work through. And I realize too, I got really deep with this too because I'm like, why? Like, I hate when I'm showing up like this. That's not how I want to like show up. That's not the energy I want to bring. Like volleyball, like bring light and love and energy in the community. Always be positive. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on with me? I realized it's because my whole childhood, like love was always conditional. I always had to perform to earn any sort of love and just like be appreciated or be heard or seen or whatever. So it's like that's why I operate the way I do now. And so I realize it's like subconsciously like I want to operate at that level just to be seen and appreciated. And when I'm not, then it's like, oh, I suck or I'm not worthy. And like I said, it's a standard thing too. So I've been working on that. That's something that came up. Not as fun with the volleyball, but I just thought it was interesting how these things come up and even just like being able to tie that through childhood and just see the way that you operate and things like that. So yeah, fun stuff.
Yeah. Well, it is a big win to have that awareness. You think it's easy to just get frustrated, like, I don't know why I act like that. I just want to win or whatever it may be. And because if you are aware, then at least you have somewhere you can look back and say, okay, this is what I need to work on, why I'm acting like this, and how you can move forward with it. So do you feel like you've grown in that area, like at least the last year? Because I know you've been playing a lot more volleyball, so you've had a lot more opportunities in those situations.
Well, it's the thing I only realized recently.
Okay.
I think because I've gotten better and like are taking it way more seriously too. Because it's that fine line of like, yeah, it's for fun. Like, let's be like, it's not that serious, but at the same time, it is, because it's like we're competitive, we want to win, we're actively trying to get better and do these things. So me and my partner always joke about that. It's like we're just having fun. It's not that serious, but at the same time, it is. But it's like we're finding that balance. And so I have gotten better, like since I realized I'm just catching myself and like sometimes I'll just like if I find myself getting angry, I'll just like go and like sit and take a break or take a quick walk and be like, all right, calm down. Like it's not that serious. Like you're good, and just come back and bring that positive energy. So yeah, working on it. Definitely doing better though.
How did that come up? Is it something just like over like journaling things just you started putting things together, or was it just kind of like a all of a sudden just hit you like, wow, you know what? I think I'm acting like this because of this, or just kind of a process in between.
One, I hate when I am acting that way or just like not in alignment with who I am or who I want to show up as. So it's like even in the moment, it's like I get angry and then I get angry at myself for getting angry because I'm like, this is not who I'm like. I do not want to act like this. But then, just the vicious cycle that feeds off of it. So after that, I just get like, I was so disappointed in myself and so upset with myself for acting that way. And like, it wasn't anything crazy, but I was just like being a little bit like short or just like more distant from my partner, which I'm like, there's no reason to take it out on him. Like, it's all me. So I was like, I hate that. Like, I apologized to him. I'm like, okay, like, I'm not letting that happen again because I feel like shit. I feel like I'm very disappointed in myself. And so then I was like, all right, where's this coming from? I just like went and sat through it. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Like, I drew the connection instantly because I've seen that come up previously. So it was pretty easy for me to draw that connection. And then once I know that, it's just easy to kind of let it go because it's just that past narrative and I know that it's not true. So yeah, I don't know if that answers the question, but that's what went through my head.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's really difficult. You get frustrated with yourself for doing something, and I think a lot of times we just sit in the frustration. Oh, I can't believe I did that. Or I can't believe I handled it like that. And then you're like, next time I need to handle it better. But then we don't really look back at the why am I handling it like that? Why am I responding like that? And so I think it is very important to be able to figure that out so that you can move forward. Otherwise, we're always just kind of in that middle ground of, yeah, I don't want to act like this, but then I react or respond in a certain way, but then I do it again.
Yeah. Yeah. Anytime I catch myself just out of alignment, I immediately like the first thing I go is like, all right, what's going on? Like, what's the deeper meaning? Like, how do I fix this? What are the action steps I need to do? And I go and implement it because like I hate feeling that way. What's going on with you though?
Well, I mean, I'm just enjoying, Christmas break and everything that goes with it, and spending more time with my girls, of course. And I was one of the things that I was laughing at the other day is my youngest daughter, Harper. She's just a very practical, like realistic. Everything's kind of like black and white type of personality a lot of times. And she says some of the most hilarious things. So I've been writing them down because it kind of goes back to my grandfather when he was alive. I didn't know this until because he lived across country and we didn't get to see him as much. And when he was getting older, he offered to fly any of his grandchildren out to come visit with them. And I was like, yeah, of course I'll go out there. He lived in California, and cool little place. And so I went out there, and just me and him and my grandmother. And so he would show me all kinds of things. He said, hey, did you know that I have a list of funny things that my grandchildren have said? And I was like, no, I'd like share this. It was like a top 10 list. And I was on there for something that I didn't think was that funny, to be honest with you. But he thought it was hysterical. And so I was like, I need to start writing these things down for Harper, because some of the things she says are just like, so memorable, and I don't want to forget them, And so I thought I'd share a couple with you guys, just because, like I said, I think they're hilarious. And I have a whole list of them. I don't even know if these are the best, but I just pulled out a couple. There's always, good context of why we're doing it, but and it's always straight face. Like she's not trying to be funny, and she's not trying to joke around. She just says like matter of fact, and then a lot of times she just like walks away. It's like mic drop here, I'm out type of thing. But like for example, we have dogs, and one of them likes to play catch, and we were throwing the ball with her, and she was like, Harper just kind of looked at me and she said, "Have you ever thought that dogs don't really like to chase balls? That maybe they chase balls because they just want their ball back?" That was it. She was just like deep thoughts. That was it. I was like, what? I mean, possibly. Never know. They're just like, stop taking my ball. I'm bringing it back because I'm excited to show you. Why are you throwing it out in the yard? Just things like that. And one time I remember we were, if you fly, there's almost guaranteed to be a flight delay or something. And we were waiting for a flight. It was a delay or something. And I was talking to her about it, and she was like, I don't understand flight delays. I was like, what do you mean? She goes, just fly the plane better. It's simple. Just like, and I think to go along with that too, I'm pretty sure, I didn't write this down, but I'm pretty sure she said this too one time. They were like, we'll just make up some time in the air. And she was like, if we can just make up time in the air, why aren't we going faster to begin with? It's like things like that. and it's almost like she's one step ahead of everyone. Like she's figured stuff out that we've just been going with, society's been going with forever. And she's also funny because like she'll see somebody, and like if you say, oh hey, there's Mike, and she'll be like, he doesn't look like a Mike. And like she just has these like images built in her head, who this is supposed to be. And one time she said, oh, she looks like a left-handed person. And I was like, oh really? I was like, what does a left-handed person look like? She goes, someone that doesn't like to use their right hand. I was just like, again, like just straight face, just not trying to be funny. Just like, dude, how did you not know that right now? Why didn't you figure it out?
That makes it even better when she's like dead serious.
Yeah, I'll pull it out every now and then, just read them out loud, and I'll just laugh. I can't wait till she has kids, and I pull them out and like, we got to read what your mom said, whatever. So that's pretty fun.
No, and I love that you write all that stuff down. I know you and I were talking about this earlier this week. I feel like we need to write more stuff down. I want to do it with a lot of other things. I feel like my notes app would just be so crazy and chaotic, and I'd never go back and look at it. But I think there is so much value in writing down those memorable things, whether that's little moments that you want to remember outside of photos, or things that people say, like your daughter does, or like your grandpa did. Or even, I know we were talking about like little moments, like God winks, as my friend would call them, is just moments where God comes through and you see that and you forget it day to day just because there's so many little things that happen. So I think there's a ton of value in just noting down those things and be able to go back and look at it and reflect and just be like, okay, that's amazing that all these things happened, or just go back and have a good moment laughing at things that your daughter said. So I think there's a ton of value in that. And I love that you do it.
I know, I really do. And there's so much that I don't, like you said, there's especially like the God wings thing that you were telling me about the other day. I love that idea, and I was thinking more about that. And you can do it in so many different ways. Whether it's just like, you can do it every single day, and just like, hey, what's one thing that happened today that I know God is with me, or even just like, a lot of times, people go through things and they're like, I'm not quite sure, if God's with me or where has He been. Just writing like all the details, and then writing like this end result. And I'm almost guaranteed that you look back and go, okay, like I'm, in the beginning, like I was just, I don't know if I was faithful enough. I don't know if I have trust. And then look at all these things that happened. Look where I am now, and look what the result was. And God's just kind of smiling and saying, see, just, give me a second. I'll work this out. Just, it may take a lot longer than you want it to, but I'm there for you, And so, I really do think we should slow down a lot more and remember these things. And like I said, write these things down so that we don't forget them.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's something I'm really gonna try for 2026 is just being able to slow down a little bit and just have more space to connect with God and just be creative and think. And just I feel like it's been a super busy season for a lot of people, especially with the holidays. And I know for me especially, I feel like I somehow reverted back to just my old habits of working like 10, 12-hour days every day and just letting work consume me. So even tonight, I was like just not feeling it, and just like pissed that like I want to go to sunset and watch the last sunset of the year, and I ended up working. So I'm working on that too, and just giving myself more space, and that's part of my intentions for the new year as well, and just being able to reflect, unwind a little bit more, and just remember what really matters because it's not work and grind 24/7. So just trying to find the right balance there still.
Yeah, I was thinking about something related to that as well. Just like framing or reframing small things that in the end end up being like big accomplishments.
Mm.
You know, because a lot of times I feel like, you know, whether it's like watching a sunset or a sunrise or something like that, like it may be just like a small thing at the time, and they don't really feel as important while you're doing them. But then you look back at the end of the year and realize that it was such an amazing event, or all these things added up. And I was looking at, just for fun, I was doing a little math on my steps. So I was like, you know, if I'm averaging, I think when it's all said and done, by the end of tonight, I'll be like around 13,200 steps, something like that. And I was like, you know, if that's my average for the whole year, I almost got to like 5 million steps, which, you know, 13,000, yeah, that's a big number, but compared to like 5 million, it's nothing, right? And so I was like, gosh, like how many things do we let go that are like kind of small like that? But then in the end, we're like, oh man, like all those little wins, all those little steps add up to just like something monster. But we always want to just kind of focus on that end big result or big goal or whatever like that, and we don't think about all those little wins that added up. And the other thing too, at least I'm guilty of this, we don't appreciate all those little wins. You know, I don't appreciate the 13,000 step day or the 14,000 step day, but I appreciate like the 25,000 step day. You know, and but all those, they're just as important. You know, especially if I consistently do them. So
Yeah, I love that perspective. And yeah, 5 million steps is crazy. That's awesome.
it is crazy to think about. Well, so it wasn't quite 5 million. So that's one of the
Okay.
things that I'm going for this year. My goal this year is to get 5 million plus. And I've been rocking the last couple of days. I've been averaging like 16,000. So that's kind of, you know, it's just like any of us with a health journey. I'm not going to be able to keep that up. And there's going to be some days where I'm probably under 10. You know, other days that are, you know, go up. So, but I'm going to consistently show up and just get as many as I can. And at the end of the day, or at the end of the year, it's going to be a big number.
I wonder how many like marathons or miles or I'd love to see like that too, just broken up.
I know I should, maybe I'll bring that on next time. I'll break it all down into how many, you know, miles and how many marathons or 5Ks, whatever. Which would be pretty ironic since I don't run any of those at all. They're pretty much all walking.
Yeah. I want to see what my aura says. I forget what mine was. Wonder if I can pull it up. We'll see. Mine's at 3.7 million steps, but that I got it like a few months ago, or
A few months
probably
ago,
I forget when I no, it's more than a few months. It was probably like maybe like 6 months. I don't know.
you're like,
Partway through the year though.
you're like 5 million. That's cute. I think mine's like 12 million or
No,
something.
no, no, no. Nothing like that. No, but I love that concept. Like that's what we always talk about: progress over perfection. It's like all the daily reps. It doesn't feel like it's a lot, and we forget to appreciate it in the moment. But that is what leads to the big milestones, the big 5 million steps, everything.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. The other thing I was thinking about, because I get to have, well, morning workouts now, which are a little bit different, and it's kind of set up differently the way, you know, what I wear and things like that. So, and I was wondering, like, do you put a lot of thought into what you wear at the gym?
Yeah, because it's science that if you look good, that you lift good. So I want to feel confident. I mean, for the most part today, I went for the homeless vibe, especially when it's cold out. I just like baggy stuff. I like to be warm and cozy, but no, usually I want to look good. It does help.
But you had a specific vibe, right? Like you created that outfit. It wasn't like you just randomly grabbed stuff, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I think there is a lot of truth to that. I think we've mentioned this before, but if you are confident in the gym, you're going to feel better. You know, no matter where you are in your journey, and clothes do help with that. They don't have to be the most expensive clothes. It's just if you're comfortable in what you're wearing. I think that's the biggest thing.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason I was asking was because I think it's important to do for myself. Like I don't. It's not a big deal what I wear, but I do like to make sure like things match and like I look like I'm working out, you know. And so I have a little embarrassing story of the other day. So anyway, I typically even like okay, so it's like freezing outside. Working out in the morning, it wasn't even light out, and it's like 30 degrees, whatever. And so I had like sweatpants on top of my shorts and a hoodie on top of my shirt and like that. And even when I wear that, I try to make sure everything matches so that if something happens to one part of the outfit, everything it still all matches up.
Yeah.
Well, that day I was just like, I had like gray sweatpants and gray shirt, and I was like, yeah, I mean, no one's gonna see that anyway because I have different colored shorts and tops, so whatever. I'm just gonna go with it. And so I get to the gym and I go to the trainer room, which is kind of like trainer office, which is kind of like right in the middle of the gym. It's interesting. Like the office is like right in the middle of the gym. It's got windows everywhere. And anyway, everyone can look in and see what everything's doing. Well, I always go in there and take off my pants and my hoodie and put them up and then go work out. Well, I start taking off my pants, pull them down, and I look down. I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't have maroon shorts on. And then I quickly pulled them up because I realized I didn't have any shorts on. I totally forgot my shorts. I was like, it's changing right there. And I pulled it up real quick and I looked around. I don't know. If someone was watching me, they saw it all, whatever. But no one said anything and no one had walked in on me. So I was like, oh, man. And I told a couple guys there and they just laughed about it. But and then on top of that, I had gray sweatpants, which I had to wear now because I didn't have any shorts, and a gray shirt. And they were off colored a little bit, so they didn't really match. And then I was doing lunges that day, and I was like, God, like and it was like my warmer sweatpants. Like, this is the worst day to like forget my shorts. It was just chaos that morning, but
that's hilarious though.
I just pulled it down. I was like, wait a minute, these aren't my shorts. I just pulled it up real quick, and it was so of course like today I was like triple checking every single time I looked down, I'd make sure I had on everything. But yeah, it was. So I was just laughing, and people were probably like, "Why is that guy laughing like every 10 minutes?" I was just laughing at myself. But it was.
We've all been there. I feel like you're not an official gym goer until you have one of those like types of some sort of embarrassing experience like that.
Well, I mean, and it rarely happens, but every now and then, like one time, I remember I forgot my workout shoes and I only had dress shoes on. I had everything else, so I'm like working out in dress shoes and everything, just like things like that. And it's usually like one time, and I think probably that's why I'm a little more OCD now. I remember one time in baseball, my dad took me to the game, and I looked at my bag. I was like, Dad, I forgot my shoes, my cleats. And he was like, are you kidding me? So we had to like drive all the way back home, grab my cleats, and come back. And I was like, never ever will I forget. So I double check everything. I'm like, do I got my keys, my phone, like everything is double checked. So now I got to double check, make sure I have shorts on.
Never thought those words would be said.
Never thought I'd have to worry about that, but here we are.
Yeah, that reminds me. I think if we want to share embarrassing gym stories regarding clothing, I have one too.
Please share.
Well, I got these like cheap ass joggers just from like Shein, which is just like, like somewhere in China, whatever. It's like very cheap. I wore them for leg day, and so I think I was squatting or something. This was like years ago, but I was squatting, and I was working out with some guy at the time, and naturally, like they ripped right in the butt crack, and I didn't know either. Like I didn't feel it until someone came up to the guy I was working out with. And it's like, by the way, her pants ripped. So that was fun.
I like how he didn't go up to you either. He like went up to him. He was like, I am not touching that. If you'll go and talk to her about that.
Right. I was like, what the hell? Like, what if he wasn't there? I would have just gone the whole workout.
I mean, I totally get it. I mean, if it's one thing, like for me, if another guy happened to another guy, no problem. But if it happened to another woman, you're almost like, do I say something? Do I like, talk to a friend? Do I tell another woman to go talk to her about it?
Yeah.
I don't want to be put in some weird situation here.
Yeah. Brutal. I was like, I think I need to find a new gym now.
Man. I know. I'm just glad I didn't do it like out on the floor. Some people will take off their pants out on the floor and stuff like that. That would have been
even better.
Yeah, I would have definitely had to just turn around and walk out, right?
Yeah, you're like, all right, well, time to find a new gym to work out at. It's all over.
Well, but honestly, in both situations, I think most people would probably just laugh, right? I
Oh yeah.
think the gym, in my experience, 99% of the time it is, but the gym should really be like the ultimate place of like support and encouragement. And so, like, whenever I do hear someone saying something or being, just super rude, it really pisses me off because it really should be a place that everyone, uplifts each other and laughs with each other and supports each other, and typically it is. So I'm sure if
Yeah.
it would have been fine for either of us, no matter what situation. People just laugh and move on, and you're like, whatever. That's a funny story.
Well, for sure. Yeah, no, it's one of the most supportive places. It's all like in our heads. It's like we're more embarrassed. Like no one thinks about it. It's like, yeah, they may laugh and be like, oh, that's funny, but like no one cares. And they're gonna forget about it in 5, 10 minutes anyway. So
Oh, I know. And I think that's how it is with life in general, right? Anytime you're embarrassed about something, what you're wearing, like that, no one's paying attention. It's only because you're spotlighting in your own mind, and you're making it a big deal, and usually it's not.
hmm yeah, when you can just own it and be confident, and be like, oh, yep, that was stupid or oh, whatever, that's funny. It's like when you can brush it off, like it's so much like you don't care what other people say too, even if they for whatever reason did criticize you or say anything. And so I think it's just that mentality of like being secure and confident in who you are really makes a big difference.
Yeah, I had a friend, my friend Mike. I've talked about before, but he was so good at that, and I was always like, man, I want to be more like. And he would just laugh. It didn't matter. He would say something embarrassing, or something would happen to him, or someone would say something, and he would just laugh. He would laugh it off, and everyone I would observe. Everyone would just laugh with him, and no one cared. But I guarantee if he would have gotten mad, it would have been a huge deal or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he would just laugh, and I think everyone loved it and liked him probably better and wanted to hang out with him more just because he could handle that stuff so well.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Like if you can just laugh it off or even like joke at yourself, like kind of make fun of yourself, like in a joking way, it's like that. I think that's the best way to get over any sort of like embarrassment or anxiety. It's like you're directly calling it out. So like other people don't, like aren't going to do it then.
So something else I've been doing is now that I've a little more time at home, I'm experimenting with recipes, whether I find them online or just kind of play around with something. And sometimes they turn out well, sometimes they don't. You're like, well, that was a waste of food and money and whatever. But so I saw somewhere someone made like a crust out of ground chicken,
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
and I was like, this sounds interesting. Could be also horrible. Like, yeah, I don't know how this is going to work out. And I wanted to make some pizza, and I was like, good time to do it. Got ground chicken. I want to make pizza. And so I took some ground chicken and I mixed in like spices, whatever I normally put in, like salt and pepper and garlic and paprika in there. And then I put some like real deal Parmesan cheese, mixed it all up, like spread it out. I kind of just made like a rectangular shape pizza or crust. And then I put it in the oven for, I don't know, it was like 25 minutes or something like that. And I pulled it out, and then I put sauce on top of it, and I put pepperoni, and I put some more cheese. And I cooked it, another 10 minutes or something. Amazing. It was so good. And it was like, I ate like a half a pound of ground chicken, with my pizza. So, it was a good 50, 60 grams of protein. It was so good. I can't wait to make it again and like solve my pizza problem, because now I can have pizza and it can be lower calorie and high protein, and I'm good to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, that's a life hack for everyone who loves pizza. Like, because pizza, I feel like traditionally I've never loved it because there's just like no nutritional value. It's just like carbs. Like, even if they put protein on it, it's like 10 grams of protein. But like that's a game changer.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, if you hear that and you're like, that sounds disgusting, or that sounds weird, it was so good. And so I had the other half actually I had it for breakfast the next day. But you could have it for any day. But it was almost kind of like that better the next day, just because those flavors soak in. But it was amazing. And so highly recommend if you guys want to try that, go for it.
Yeah. Is there any other recipes that you've been experimenting with that stood out to you?
Nothing that was really great that I would tell someone. I've been doing a lot of things with cottage cheese, but I think I've talked about those things. Like I made a tomato soup with cottage cheese, which was really just 3 ingredients. It was like same equal parts. It was cottage cheese, bone broth, and marinara. Equal parts. Mix it all up really well, and then just heat it up. Excellent, so good. So just like things like that. But yeah, so it's been fun.
Nice. I'm still on my no dairy kick, so no pizza for me.
Sorry, maybe. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could do a cheeseless pizza. I mean, why
Yeah,
not? You don't
that
put the
doesn't sound as
pizza.
appealing.
I know, I get that. It's a little more difficult to do.
No, I'm fine. Like I've never really, again, like a pizza hasn't really been my thing. There are times where I go through my homemade pizza kick and I'll like make a healthier version, which is pretty good. But yeah, there's other things I prefer, to be honest.
Oh man, I love a good piece of pizza, and for me, that's one of the hardest things for me to stop eating
Mm.
is pizza. And so like you almost have to like make sure like I'm not in charge of ordering it or like limited options because if I have like a whole pizza, I'll eat the whole thing. I can't stop until it's done and like wow, now I'm stuffed, but it was fantastic.
I know. I keep thinking about your story when you were on vacation. You ordered like 6 pizzas.
The perfect example right there. Yeah, I ordered twice as much as I should have, and I ate 3 times as much as I should have. But
Case in point.
it was some damn good pizza, though. I tell you what.
Nice. Yeah. Aside from that, on my end, well, as I know you comment on my glasses. I'm really dialed in with my sleep schedule lately. I've been sleeping 8 hours most nights, which is unheard of for me. So
That's
I'm feeling
awesome. Yeah,
good.
that's so
These are my
good.
blue light glasses, so yeah, I'm pretty locked in for that. But yeah, it's been making a big difference with just, I mean, no shit. Like mentally, I just feel on another level. I know I mentioned that the other week, but just feeling really good mentally. And so like, it just becomes addicting once you get that sleep and you see how it feels. It's like I'm willing to sacrifice work for it, which is saying a lot.
That is saying a lot. It's that important, people.
Yeah. So just a reminder for everyone.
Well, you know what? And lately, I feel like a lot of times I'll talk to my clients about the quantity or the quality of sleep, but I don't spend as much time, I think, about talking about the consistency of it in terms of like the going to sleep time and the wake time. Because I feel like a lot of people, Monday through Thursday, will be pretty locked in. They'll get 6, 7, 8 hours of sleep. And then Friday night they stay up later, and then they'll sleep in on the weekend. Even if they're getting similar amount of hours, it's almost causing that like jet lag, right? And so like Monday they wake up and they're like, gosh, like I felt like I got the same amount of sleep, or I even slept in, this weekend, and they don't really, their body can't really catch up. Their circadian rhythms are off or whatever. And so Wednesday they're kind of back to normal, but then kind of go through the same kind of rhythm. So I think it's important too, just to reiterate the importance of going to sleep the same time, like every day, Monday through Sunday, every single day of the week, and waking up at the same time, even if it's on the weekend. And then, of course, there's times where you might want to stay up late. If you're going out to New Year's Eve party or something like that, or there's a big game on or something. I mean, that's fine, but not like a consistent every Friday or every Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I stay up late type of thing.
Oh yeah, for sure. Always a good reminder. And I'm also guilty of that too, for sure. Like sometimes I'll get home from volleyball super late, and I don't, for whatever reason, on weekends my mentality is like, oh, like I can sleep in. It's like I don't like have as many priorities that I need to do in the morning. So I'm like, oh, like I just want to stay up. But then yeah, you get that jet lag or that almost like hungover. Like you're still tired even though you
Mhm.
slept, the proper amount. So it really does
Yeah,
make a big difference.
yeah.
I
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say I had like I've also gone to like a good amount, like a few like music festivals or shows recently too, and that always obviously messes with your sleep a bit. I like the ones that I went to. I don't know if I said this on the podcast, but I went to one that's like worship music rave. Did I tell you about that?
No, share. Tell us about it.
Yeah,
Tell
it was
me
just
about it.
yeah, as I'm sure a lot of people know, it's like I really love EDM music. It's something I'm super passionate about. It's just so tough for me to go and justify, like it's always a mental battle with like staying up late and just like being off track with food and just everything. So I always struggle, but like I love it. It's something I'm so passionate about. But I found one, there's this guy named Rave Jesus, and so like he plays like worship music and like remixes it and just like has more like faith-based songs. And so I went to that the other week with some of my friends, and it was kind of cool. Like obviously not what I'm used to. I'm like, I need some more like wubs. I need some more like, but it was still a really cool experience. So like, I'd love to see more of that. I'm sure there's other people that do that. It'd be cool to see that become more mainstream.
That would be really cool. And I've actually seen, and they're not very popular, which I wish they were, but every now and then some will pop up. But I've seen some artists it's basically like a cover thing, right? So like he'll, or it could be a woman too, but they'll take a popular song and they'll it's the same music and everything, but they'll change the lyrics
Mm.
to something that's more biblical or more Christian like. And some of them have been really good. I've listened to like, wow, that's actually it sounds really good. Like I could listen to that radio. So maybe like it would be really cool if they could make those people more popular and bring them out and even DJ up those type of songs or whatever and make them bigger. But that yeah, I love that idea.
Mhm. Yeah, so that was a cool one. And then I went to, there's also this other show I went to that is on the pier in downtown St. Pete, which is such a cool vibe. It's like right on the water. It was like at sunset, just immaculate vibes all the way around. So that one was really fun. And I love that those ones ended at 10 because I think they have like some sort of like time or they have some sort of rule. So it's like, it's at least it's,
Even better.
I know, I'm like a little bit, like obviously it's still late. Like I still get home late, but it's like much better than 2, 3 a.m. like the normal show.
Yeah.
So I'm like, beautiful.
Yeah. Well, going back to like reframing, it's always a big thing. Like if even though it's later, if you're like, oh, it's a cutoff day at 10, you're like, I can get home by 11 or 12 or whatever. And normally you'd be like, that's so late. But because you knew you were gonna go out late anyway, that's like a big win. You're like, oh, I'll be in bed by 12, type of thing.
Yep. I know. I still need to work to reframe the other ones though. Like even when, because the ones that I normally want to go to is like they go to 2 to 3 a.m. It's just so hard to justify that. Like that's just brutal. It's like you don't get any sleep. It's basically an all nighter. But again, it's like I want to have those experiences. Like I want to see those artists. So it's just such. I'm embarrassed to admit, but it's like a lot of times I'm just sitting there anxious all night, like debating, like, should I go? Should I stay home? Just like, guys, I don't want to get off track. I don't want to mess up my whole week, but I'm like, I really want to go and have this experience. So it's such a mental battle for me. It's embarrassing, but like I'm working on it. And that's something kind of going back to my intentions. Like, remember what really matters. Like, am I going to remember another night where I just stay in and work or whatever and go to bed early? Or am I going to remember seeing this artist that I really like? Even if my sleep is off a little bit, it's not life or death. I'm going to be perfectly fine. So it's just a constant battle that I go through.
And I think it's like when we're talking to our clients about going out and having pizza or something like that. If you have that plan, you've already decided, like, hey, I'm giving myself permission to go do this. I'm excited about it. I'm gonna have fun. I know all the worries, but it doesn't matter. Like, I'm going to do this because I love this artist, whatever. Then you're gonna enjoy it so much more as opposed to just, should I go? I think I'm gonna go. Okay, I'm gonna go. But then you're like the whole time. So same thing with like pizza. Like if you've been locked in your week, you're like, I kind of want to have pizza. Make up your mind. Like decide, hey, do I want to have it or not? I do. Awesome. Go enjoy it. Appreciate every minute of it. Next day, back to the normal routine. No big deal. Same type of thing there, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Me and Nick, one of our other teammates, were talking about it too. Is like when you're on, you need to be on, but when you're off, it's like be off. It's because I think I get to myself as like I'm off or I'm like, going to have fun, but like I'm just stressing about work 24/7. Or I'm just stressing about like being locked or whatever. Like I'm not fully present. I'm not enjoying it. So then it just I don't get any of the benefits. It's like I get nothing out of it. So it's like yeah, just being fully in or fully out, like not in the sense of like on track or off track, but just like being so present and intentional and just enjoying it and knowing that it's okay. Because like, I'm not doing that every weekend. It's like I'm locked in after. So yeah, it's a good reminder.
Yeah, I like that a lot. If you're gonna go for it, go for it. If not, then no big deal. But don't go for it. But if you're gonna go for it, go all in, have fun, and enjoy it, and don't worry about all those things. So how often like do you go to those?
Well, recently there's been a good amount. Like I had that Rave Jesus one, and then I had that one at the pier. It was the same weekend, which was a lot. And then I went to a pool party one this last weekend too. I love the pool party ones because those are during the day, and I can get home at a normal time. So I'm like, yes.
Yeah, the day
And then I
stuff
had,
is the best.
yeah, I had one of those late ones the other week, and I ended up not going to it because same thing. but yeah, other than that, it's kind of like every few months or just whenever there's a certain artist that I want to see. So it kind of just depends.
Yeah, well, that's fun. I'm glad you get an opportunity to do those.
Yeah. Working on more of that in the new year. Yeah, and there's one other thing I wanted to I've been debating talking about this on the podcast.
Oh boy, here we go.
Buckle up. No, but it really has been one of the most transformative tools for me this last year. Like really has changed my life and that's why I wanted to talk about it. I'm sure it's controversial, but it's like psychedelics, mushrooms. Like I've been microdosing for years, like on and off, and that's helped a lot with just mental health and focus and clarity and things. But like just doing psychedelics has been so transformed this year for me, especially in particular the stuff that I've been working through is more of just releasing control and surrender and being present, kind of like the stuff we're just talking about here, not being so locked in all the time and allowing myself to actually be present and unwind and relax as opposed to being in that constant state of fight or flight or stress. And it's been huge in just rewiring my brain for that, which has been awesome.
Oh man, so I know very little to none about that kind of stuff. So is this something you do like under the control of somebody, or you just do it by yourself, or how does this work?
Yeah, I just do it by myself. Like I have one of my friends like grows them and gets me a bunch. So for me though, it's like I think where a lot of okay, well, in my eyes, it's all a medicine. Like I'm not using it as a drug, and I think a lot of people are like, oh, like drugs, and they go and like try to get fucked up and whatever. Like for me,
Yeah.
like I'm using it for a very specific purpose, and like it is to rewire my brain and just get more clarity and dive deep. Like I just get into super deep reflection. So yeah, like I'll take it by myself. I want to stay inside. Like I'll just stay. I'll pick a day where I don't have anything, just stay inside. And I'll usually just like go lay in bed with my eyes shut, like listening to music and like just the I can't even describe, like I can't even begin to articulate it, but it's just like in such deep thought and just you notice certain things that come up that you need to work on, and so then I can go and implement that. And it like it's more of just I think for me it's been a lot of just it's my time to unwind and be present and not have to do anything. Again, I have no idea how to articulate it, but it's yeah, I just do it on my own, just sit in deep thought and reflection, and then as you're coming off of it too, I think that's where I can get into like more action items and unpacking, what came up or what I want to do going forward. And you just have such incredible mental clarity. You just feel on top of the world. Like the few days after too are just like you feel amazing. Nothing can phase me. It's like my aura ring was even like, you're way less stressed than usual. And like there's a bunch of stressful shit going on in my life, but I was like just in so much peace and clarity and just I don't know. It's weird to describe, but yeah, it's cool.
Wow, that's interesting. I have heard of people that have done it, and they've said some really amazing things. Kind of similar to what you were saying. They just kind of like felt really present, and they were able to really deal with a lot of thoughts and internal struggles and things that they're going through, and almost kind of like open up and release like a lot of emotions and feelings that they could actually deal with instead of just like struggling with it. They're actually able to say, okay, let me sit down with these and give it a space and look at it. So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I feel like you articulated it way better than I did. I feel like my brain's all over the place today. I cannot speak clearly, but no, you nailed it. Like it really does rewire your brain. You can just think completely differently. You just go down all these super deep rabbit holes. It's really cool. And then yeah, the after effects are just amazing. So obviously, I'm not recommending that everyone go and do this. Like disclaimer, like this is just sharing my experience and what I found that's worked for me. But by all means, like this is not a recommendation that everyone go and try this. But I just thought like it's been such an important part of my journey this year, and so I did want to mention that. Like I'm always transparent about stuff I'm doing. So yeah, want to put it out there. Fuck it.
I'm intrigued. That's and actually, hearing you talk about it, remind me, if you have a second, I'll tell you a story. When I was in college, I had a roommate, a real nice guy, and but he had some anger issues at times, and whatever. And but anyway, he almost said anything. But anyway, he tried shrooms a couple times, and one time we were going. It was like Halloween, and people were dressing up, and his friend talked him into dressing up as a train conductor, and like a all out, full out get up train conductor, and his friend came as crazy duct tape guy, and he literally duct taped his entire body in duct tape except for his hand, which so he could hold a beer, and he was like the hit of everywhere we went. And so they ended up, we were going to different places, different parties, and they ended up going like to other places by themselves. And then he came back. He was so mad, but you could tell he was kind of tripping too, because I guess he was on this stuff or whatever. And he just sat down. He was just like telling us everything about life, just super honest and open and everything. And he was like, and then he's like, and then tonight, he goes, we're walking down the strip, and everybody loves crazy duct tape guy. No one cares about train conductor dude. And he's going on and on, and how everyone wanted to talk to this crazy duct tape guy, and here he is in this ridiculous train conductor outfit. It was a pretty epic outfit. I don't know. He like wrapped himself in toilet paper and then like duct taped every single thing, which would not have worked well for me, because I've been like, I have to go to the bathroom like every 30 minutes, so this isn't going to work out. But Somehow
Yeah.
I did it, and it was hysterical.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear the logistics behind that. That sounds very interesting.
It was definitely one of the best Halloween costumes I've ever seen in my life.
Did you ever do it again? Is that just one of the one-time things to do it and that's it?
No, that was one. I mean, I think you can only do it once. Like
Yeah,
you do it once, you experience it, and so you can say you did it, take pictures, and then that's it.
that's fair. Well, yep, ideas for next year for everyone if you really want to have a hit of an outfit.
Yeah, if you do the crazy duct tape guy, send in the photos. We want to see it.
Yep, we do.
All
Cool.
right.
Anything
Well,
else on your end do you want to talk about before we wrap up?
no, I think we've kept everyone on here long enough.
Yeah, if you're still here, we appreciate you.
Yeah, if you didn't listen to the whole thing, you would have missed out on crazy duct tape guy story.
Yeah, we left my mushrooms till the end too, so maybe people won't get to that part.
I don't know. I think it's good to hear.
Well, yeah, we appreciate all you guys tuning in, even just this whole year. I know this is coming out a little after New Year's, but been a hell of a year. Over a year of podcasting for us, so it's been so awesome, and I appreciate all you guys tuning in, and just excited to see what comes for everyone in 2026. So we will catch you on the next one in the new year.